So in problem number 2, it wants you to find the vertical, horizontal, and oblique asymptotes of a rational function. In my example, I got r of x, which is my rational function, and it's 8x over x plus 5. A rational function is pretty much just like a function that has a fraction. So first, to find the vertical asymptotes, we look at the denominator and set it equal to 0 and find where x equals 0. So then we do x plus 5 equals 0. Move the 5 over, and we get x equals negative 5. So x equals negative 5 is the vertical asymptote of this equation. Now to find our horizontal asymptote, it's a little more involving. We look at the powers of our, like the greatest powers at the top and the bottom. So in this case, the greatest power of the top is 1, and the greatest power of the bottom is 1 as well. So I like to use this little phrase, Bobo Botten eats DC. Okay, so this has 3 things. Let's split it up. Okay. So this helps us determine whether we have a horizontal or oblique asymptote. And you can only have one. So you have a horizontal. If you have a horizontal asymptote, then you don't have an oblique asymptote. And if you have an oblique asymptote, you don't have a horizontal asymptote. So first, BOBO stands for bigger on bottom than y equals 0. So say the greatest power, the bigger power, was on the bottom, then y equals 0. Well, our powers are equal, so it's not that one. Well, then what about bigger on top? Then that means no horizontal asymptote, and you have an oblique asymptote. Well, once again, they're equal, so we don't have a bigger power on top. But if it was this one, say you did have the bigger on top, then you would have to actually divide them out to find the oblique asymptote, and the quotient of when you divide them would be your oblique asymptote. So then we come to EATS DC. EATS DC stands for exponents are the same, divide coefficients. So since we have an x to the 1 on top, which is our greatest power, and an x to the 1, the exponents are the same. So we're going to divide the coefficients with them. We have 8 and we have a 1. So then we get y equals 8 over 1. So our horizontal asymptote is y equals 8. And because of that, we do not have an oblique asymptote.